on. There's a new Sonic show on Netflix now. No, you didn't, because you're in space doing things with Gamera and not your real friend, Dippy. You fuck! So Sonic Prime came out at some point on Netflix, and I forgot because I live under a fucking rock. I haven't even beaten Sonic Frontiers yet, because what is life but a miserable pile of... And overall, it's been pretty good so far. I'm like 4 episodes in. I just wanted to give like impressions of things. I got the stream playing and it's making me change colors, so you just stop that. And like once again, it seems to be another Sonic show that's better than the things going on around it. Last time that happened, we had Sonic Boom, which was obviously better than anything else Sonic Boom. And probably better than Sonic Lost World 2 even. I think that was around the same time. Same deal with Nintendo. Shut up! I mean, we do have Sonic Frontiers, and that's pretty good, but I think this show is like more polished than that. And good Sonic. Sonic 2 is not good Sonic. I'm sorry, it's kind of stinky. And this show is definitely like leagues ahead of that. I wish the Sonic movies were like this. I don't know why they went the way they did with those movies when they could have gone the way they did with these not movies. And they didn't. I mean, they could easily have just tweaked it a bit to make this show more cinematic. And I think it would have been pretty good movies too. That might make people mad that I said Sonic movies bad and this show is good. Because I'm seeing a lot of complaints about the characterization of people in this. Mostly Sonic. Sonic's kind of just been Sonic over the years. Sometimes he's like more humorous, sometimes he's more serious and 90s kid-ish. But apparently there's some standard he's gotta be, and this show's not meeting it. People are mad that he's, I don't know, dumb or something. I've seen a bunch of complaints. I've seen people thinking he's just an idiot, and then some people are just complaining. Like, they're just saying he doesn't match Sonic, and they don't say why. And I don't. He's just Sonic. He is kind of dumb, but sometimes he just is. What is this? Fucking Batman? What are we doing here? He's not allowed to look dumb at all, or he's not allowed to be mad, or isn't, or... It's very inconsistent criticisms. It's almost like there's 8 billion fucking people on this planet. I think a lot of times it's like newer, younger generations of fans that just kind of come in and just start nitpicking about what Sonic is. Because, you know, him from like Sonic and the Black Knight. And like, Sonic X has made him way brattier and kind of a dickhead. More so than anything before or since. And everybody loves that. I don't know why. I mean, it's passable, but it's also like assable. I just said that unironically, and that was meant to not come off... You should see how people fight over his fucking 3D model across all media. I think he looks great in this. I like that model. I think a lot of fans in general do. But when Frontiers came out and he had them little short arms and quills and stuff, oh god, so much fighting. But like, yeah, the characters in this actually seem pretty much like themselves. Obviously, there's variations between like different media that happens with every character and everything. I mean, it happens to Batman a lot with the Nolan movies versus like the animated series. Sonic's no fucking different. It's... Honestly, I don't even see him varying that much. Not nearly to the extent I've seen like Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, those guys change. So he's been pretty consistent. Minus Sonic X when he's a dickhole. And the other characters kind of just fall in line with that, really. They're all just themselves. Rouge is a bit more gung-ho about being on the team, but I mean, she was like part of Gun secretly, basically the entire time, while making you think she was a jewel thief. Plot twist. Sonic Adventure 2 was the deepest game ever. Oh, there's one point though where Tails is like a Tasmanian devil like character, just to subvert your expectations in a jungle world when Sonic runs into like him. He's pretty dumb, but I bet he's gonna be revealed to be like smart as fuck. Still just dumb. And that brings me to the premise of this totally structured review and video essay about 4 episodes of Sonic Prime. Goddamn. How did I do that transition? Whatever. So the universe is split because there's a prism thing and Sonic hits it and it shatters everything. Because the moral of the story so far seems to be that Sonic doesn't listen to anybody and just wants to like win against Eggman. Because first Tails tries to tell him not to go after a trap that cracks a mountain that allows Eggman to find the prism crystal thing. And then everybody tries to warn him not to hit that prism crystal thing when Eggman's grabbing it later in a big fight. And he does it anyway. And the universe gets fucked. And now we're going to have a situation where there's a bunch of different variations of characters that are all going to die when the universe gets put back together. And it'll be Sonic's fault. Trillions upon trillions will die because of Sonic. And they were created because of Sonic. So really, this is a deep moral think piece about life and not splitting the universe. There's a cat back there. She's watching me. No, she's not. But yeah, it's like a good premise. There's different versions of the core characters, which Rouge kind of getting lumped in there is weird. But she's in there. She's not even gonna get perverted. Maybe. Shadow's nowhere to be seen in like the other 2 universes I've seen so far. He's in the main one, but he doesn't have any variations yet, and I bet it's because he's a weird chaos being with mega power. They even point out that he uses air shoes. He gets all defensive when they're called roller skates or whatever. But yeah, I hope like a game gets made about this, because it's actually a cool plot. Like, universe splits, Sonic ends up having to like go through the different worlds and getting crystals to put it back together, except it's not quite clear how that's gonna work, because he grabbed a crystal in this one desolate, crappy future world, and then it sent him, he got absorbed into it and ended up in Jungle World with dumb Tails. Speaking of characterization, which was like 2 points ago, cat, get away from the power bar. Goddamn. The voices are pretty good overall. None of them, I believe, are returning people from before, so I wonder if this is like the Beast Wars revival where there was a strike and nobody could be used. I don't know. I don't quite remember what happened with that. Human history makes me puke and sad. So I just live under my rock watching Sonic shows and yelling about them. The only real problem I have is like Eggman. He kind of sounds like a generic dude in the same way that Beast Wars Revival Megatron sounded. Well, he just sounded ass. I will always, every video I'm gonna just talk about that. Well, the last one was a Beast Wars video. That's fair. The rest are just obsessive. Which just reminds me of that, because it's kind of like the same generic sound. No offense to the voice actor, but no one will ever be Dean Bristow. You thought I was going to say Mike Pollock, but I didn't. Shut up. Yeah, Rouge and Amy probably actually have some of the best voices, and they've had some of the worst in the franchise, so that's refreshing. Knuckles takes some getting used to. Big is a little generic, but still, you know, big, dumb, dopey guy kind of fits. Tails actually sounded like a kid at first, which was interesting, because he's supposed to be a baby and not a girl that's like in her 30s or 40s. I don't. But I think that's exactly what it is. Just at first, somehow he sounded like a kid. Like, they did a really good impression. Then I suppose when he was a darker character in the desolate future world where an egg council took over, they, I don't know, in making him sound darker, he sounded more like a woman. But yeah, the Egg Council is cool because it's a bunch of Eggman OCs. It's some interesting designs in there. One of them's a baby. And there's bondage. Anyway, Sonic sounds like Roger Craig Smith and Jason Griffith like combined. It's weird. There are times where he's just like full on sounding like Roger or Jason, like he's alternating, like he's flipping a switch. I'm pretty sure it's neither of them. Thought I saw somebody announce on Twitter they were now Sonic. Shadow sounds like really good. Probably the best he's sounded in a long time. Basically since SA2. They got like a moody, dark kind of voice, which is a little much at times, but like so far it's been great. Speaking of being a little much at times, the humor's actually not like terrible. It's pretty good. You know, it's better than those fucking movies and the nonstop terrible jokes and You know, I think this is largely meant to be like a kid's show while still being entertaining overall. And so the humor, like, there's some funny jokes in there. Just sometimes it's a bit much. Like Eggman falling down into a chasm because no one told him how big of a drop it would be. He just pushed through a rock wall. Like, okay, your robot flies, but I mean, shut up! So yeah, just at times there's almost too much of it, but it does. It doesn't overpower the show in the way it overpowered the movies and just made me cringe and die inside. And it looks good. The humor. The show is like really well animated and modeled and colored and got good lighting and everything. Sometimes, I guess in like the jungle world, it looks a little empty, but I mean, it's fucking trees everywhere. What are you gonna do? You can't do much. I guess they could have put a mountain somewhere, but they did that in other backdrops. Everybody's got like interesting textures and stuff, I guess, to look like fur. But Sonic's beige parts don't have textures, so that confirms what I thought all along. It's meat. There's no fur. He's naked in his beige parts. The government doesn't want you to know. Which means that patch in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is Shadow's butthole. Shut up. The action is like animated pretty well. It's not like fucking the Transformers movies where they go over the top with CGI and choreography and whatnot. But it does its job. Like, it's actiony, and they do a lot with like slowdown effects and stuff and acrobatics. And Sonic and Shadow have like a fight that's pretty cool where they're running around and they're punching and stuff. It was an interesting fight. You could actually see them, like, I don't know, just rivals, and they fight. It was a good thing. No wonder nobody fucking watches these. So yeah, overall, this is a good show. Look forward to more of it. But, you know, Netflix likes to release things in chunks sometimes. Actually, they don't. That's everybody else. So why are you doing it, Netflix? There's only 8 episodes, and I know there's supposed to be more. Why you do? You're just gonna cancel it 2 seasons from now anyway. Why not give me the Sonic? Pump it directly into my veins. Let me move it. And that's when you hit the stop button and Dippy stops talking for a while.